Well, check this out. When it comes time, I do not believe you will see random Antifa roaming the suburbs. I believe you will see people who are in the armed forces or police department. And what's someone going to do when a cop shows up? Like, you got to look at what happened in Venezuela, Cuba, the Soviet Union.
Okay.
You did have, in history, in the Spanish Civil War, you did have factions fighting each other in the streets. But what I think is a really... I don't want to act like it's super likely because, you know, who knows what's going to happen. It's easy to make claims. It's hard to know for sure.
I want to know what to do, though. Saying that...
Listen,
you know,
here's the point I'm making.
price of freedom is high is not an answer. You know, like what do people do? What can they do right now?
Protest.
So
peacefully, law-abiding,
peacefully
peaceful
go
protests.
out and protest.
Link arms, guarding statues. Don't bring weapons. And then when the video cameras start rolling and it shows, you know, a middle-aged Latino mom saying, please stop, being beaten by Antifa, that might suck for that woman for sure. Because I've been in that situation. What do you think people, and look what happened when Andy Ngo got beaten by Antifa.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
That was a nightmare scenario for the far left. A gay Vietnamese child of immigrants was brutally beaten in the streets while he couldn't even fight back.
Yeah.
And everyone turned. They tried smearing him, they tried slamming him, but boy, it was not working. It was a bad show for them.
Well, that happened in Chaz like 3 days ago. It was, not as it's prominent as Andy Ngo, but it was a Japanese reporter.
Yep.
He was for Black Lives Matter, going in to show how peaceful it was, and they beat him up.
They beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, they did. It's like,
but then he came out still in favor of them, and he wasn't American.
How?
Because it's a cult, man. But listen,
no, I know actually why. Because that's what I said earlier. There's a difference between the people who are peacefully protesting and the people who are not there, that are trying to take a hold of it and steer it down a different street.
It's about power.
Exactly. Yep.
Here's what I see happening. If you get a bunch of regular people, middle-aged men and women, and they show up around a Columbus statue and they link arms, and that's it. The statue will not come down. The statue will not come down. But no one will do that. It's a peaceful assembly. It's law-abiding.
Yep.
And then the issue for these local politicians like Cuomo is that they're looking at what's happening, and they see large, loud, angry activist base destroying things, and no one else cares. So they say, hey, look, if the only people who care are the ones burning everything to the ground,
I guess this is what it is.
that's who's going to vote for me. So I'll give them what they want. So that's all you got to do. And guess what? These people are violent. These people may bring weapons. You might get hit, but you have to be peaceful, and it works. And the left will tell you it doesn't, because they're wrong. They're 100% wrong. They've weaponized victimhood to an extreme degree. They know exactly why peaceful protest works.
Yep, it's true.
They know that when the video comes out of the cop dragging the protester away, they win sympathy. That's what they've been doing the entire time. This is what I've been telling people is, when you look at to the extreme right, it's a high intensity extreme moment where one person commits an atrocity and it shocks and terrifies everyone. What Antifa and far leftists do is low grade terrorism, where they'll hit you one time and no one cares that it happened.
Yeah.
But then when you fight back, they cower and shake and go, ah. And then when the cops move in to make arrests, they're going, help, help. And then the videos come out and they go, look what's happening to us. We're being repressed.
I think that's what Chaz was. I think Chaz was a big ploy to try to get Trump to bring in the army,
and they would
shut him down, and they would have been like, this is what we're talking about.
And the mayor would have said,
boom.
Yep,
exactly.
The mayor was like, it was our summer of love. What was Trump
Yep.
doing?
But people were getting shot, and they can't handle it anymore.
They were trying to take the bait.
So they took Chaz down. The mayor asked them, and they were like going around like, all right, we're going to peacefully leave. Thanks, everybody.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
After 4 shootings.
It's just like,
so
really?
Listen, you want to know what you need to do is... I don't think I wasn't telling people, and I hope people realize this, just to arbitrarily be like, I quit for no reason.
Right. No.
But to actively protest if they made you do something you didn't want to do. If they were like, we want you to wear this, this symbol on your vest.
Oh, no, that's basically what it was.
Right.
Like, you have to conform. And
Yeah,
they're
I'd
like,
say
no, I'm not doing that. And then they got fired.
And then when you hear, like right now, we're hearing that they're going to go tear down the Statue of Lincoln. Where is that? Is that in D.C.?
No, I don't know, but
Boston?
I know that there's this whole Antifa flag burning ceremony that's supposed to happen July 4th in Gettysburg. So
Oh wow.
that's
Really?
not
Maybe-
very far from here.
Maybe we should go there and do a live show
Yeah,
from
that'd
the
be fun.
flag burning.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Let's do
I
it.
don't think they would like seeing either of us there. I think you and I both are a target to them.
So who,
Because-
the people want to burn Antifa flags?
No. Antifa
Oh,
is
of
showing up
course.
to burn American flags. Tim.
No.
You still want to go?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, that's not my game.
No.
I thought you meant that the right was going to burn Antifa flags.
No.
Heck yeah, let's
They're
go.
meeting in
Listen.
Gettysburg because that's one of the largest battles that we
Yep.
fought for this country. And
Oh,
it's
they
like
do know something about history. How nice.
they know a little something,
Yeah.
That's
right?
really
Surface
nice of
level
them.
nonsense.
And July 4th, it's a pretty big day
yeah.
for us. I
Yeah.
don't know if you know about that.
I'm excited for the 4th of July. But look, I'll say it one more time just because I really want to drive it home.
Yeah,
All it takes is for you to show up, no shields, no weapons, no helmets, nothing, and link arms. And you know what might happen? You will get Andy Node.
Yep.
They will throw
It's gonna
milkshakes in your
hurt.
face. They will punch you. You'll be left bleeding. And then the entire media will be like, why were these local residents begging these extremists to stop being brutally beaten while they didn't fight back?
yep.
This is what people don't understand about perception. There's this famous comic that goes around, and it shows a circle, and in it you see what looks like a hand and a knife and a person being shocked like they're about to be stabbed.
Okay.
And then the bigger picture is a camera, and it's actually the knife. It's like the knife is actually the foot of the person running away, and the person shocked is the person actually reaching to stab them. Meaning the framing of the camera changed what you thought was happening.
Framing's everything.
Yeah.
Certainly learned that in the past couple
Yeah.
months.
So peaceful protests work 100%.
Yeah.
They absolutely do work because you stay within the confines of what's morally acceptable and you become the victim. And this is why this one dude got fired from his job. They say this researcher tweeted out from an African-American social psychology professor, I guess, or whatever it says. I don't know what his position was, that peaceful protests result in a 2-point swing and violent riots result in a 2-point drop for the party. So like, they do specifically talking about Democrats versus Republicans.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I had a burp. When peaceful protests happen, positive coverage emerges, and then the party that's peacefully protesting gets a ton of attention, talks about their issues, and they win over supporters. When the group gets violent and destroys things, it swings in the other way because they're the bad guys now.
Yep.
So it's possible that Antifa has lost a ton of favor because of the violent riots, but the media covered for them the whole time, saying peaceful protesters, they blamed the police for it.
Right.
So
Even here, like look at this article. Wisconsin state senator attacked by protesters
seriously,
as
What's that
demonstrations
framing?
in Madison turned violent. No, they showed up to riot because they were pissed that someone rightfully got arrested for what he didn't get killed. He was arrested.
right? And they rioted and
That's
destroyed
it.
things.
He was threatening people with a bat on a private in a private restaurant. Like, and they told him no.
Yep.
And he said, "You can't stop me. I've got a bat. I'll try to stop me. I dare you." It's like, okay, so now
What do
he's
you-
threatening people. They arrest him. What do you
think
think's
would-
going to happen?
What do you think would happen if 50, 70-year-old little grannies linked arms around a statue?
They'd be the bossest humans I've ever seen.
I'd be willing to
Yeah.
bet Antifa wouldn't go anywhere near them and say anything at all because they know
How that looks.
somebody might. They've attacked old people in the past.
Yeah.
But could you imagine the cameras rolling and the granny brigade with like fresh cookies and little trays were standing around saying, "Grandma says no violence," and then they started whacking old ladies.
Okay. So just real quick, we have an art contest going on right now. I want to see that.
Yes, the
All right.
Granny Brigade. Yeah,
The
around
Granny
statue.
Brigade
Yes.
protecting statues with cookies, giving them out, and Antifa just standing there like,
listen.
meh.
Yeah.
All right, please continue.
What you were saying about baiting Trump
Yeah.
is exactly it.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
they want to trick you into getting violent so they can use that
Exactly.
against you.
Yep,
When the
exactly.
Proud Boys got into a fight in New York,
Mm-hmm.
they went to prison. And the left was like, yes,
We got him,
we
guys.
tricked these people into swinging the punch.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and now we won.
It's so obvious what Chaz was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like
Well-
they were trying to push like, why isn't Trump doing anything? Why isn't Trump bringing this down? It's like, what do you mean? It's the state's thing. You just been drilling him for not doing anything for COVID, and they're like, no, we get to decide what we do with COVID because we're the states. And then this happened, and they're
Dude.
like, Trump, why? It's like,
but-
no, you're the state. You deal with it. What?
But Trump told the governor and the mayor to get to deal with it.
Right,
And
because it makes America look bad.
But they mocked Trump for it. And now 4 shootings later,
Yeah.
what's her name, Jenny Durkin or whatever, is like, oh well, I mean, it's like that's on you.
Yeah,
you could have stopped
absolutely.
this at any point.
She could have stopped
and
it.
the police said they were told to get out.
Yep, exactly.
So what did you think was going to happen?
What do you think?
These people, Summer of Love, and she walked that back. She's like, well, I didn't really mean it.
That sounds like a horror film, Summer of Love.
doesn't
Yeah, it does. A bad one.
I'm
mind
gonna write a song called Summer of Love.
Oh,
Do
good.
it.
Actually,
Please, I'll back you up on it.
I actually had a really good idea for a song.
Oh, yeah.
I was inspired. The sign said long-haired freaky people need not apply.
Great song, yeah. It applies to me.
I was thinking in that kind of upbeat kind of vein,
Uh-huh.
and the normies said, "Please just leave me alone."
Okay.
And so the song can be called Summer of Love. And I was thinking, I'm in the early stages of writing it, where it's basically going through all of the crazy things that have been escalating.
You're such a storyteller.
Like, yeah, all my songs are stories.
I know, they're great.
So it's like, first they said, don't insult me. Then they said, use my pronouns. Then they said, we just want to add a character to your video games. And then it ends with, then they're in my home with a gun pointed at my head.
Yep.
And the normies said, please just leave me alone.
Yep.
So it's like, it escalates to the point.
And then a gunshot.
Yeah.
And that's the
And it'll
end.
be called The Summer of Love.
The end.
That sounds like
The Summer of Love.
Yeah.
Because it ends with them surrounding your house and setting up an autonomous zone where they start demanding money from you. And I say, here's the money, but please just leave me alone. Then they came in and stole my food and ripped the copper out of the walls to sell. And I said, yeah, you can take it, but please just leave me alone. Now, at what point do these people realize they're literally not leaving you alone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yep.
Well, Trump didn't take the bait.
Nope,
So
he didn't. Because he's actually smart. Despite what everyone tries to, well, not, I don't want to say everyone, but the Democrats,
Doesn't mean he's
the
gonna win.
far left.
doesn't mean
No,
he's gonna
I
win.
know. It is. It's up in the air right now, but
I read-
know who I'm voting for.
The New York Times did they released their poll, Biden 50, Trump 36. And I keep hearing from everybody, yeah, the polls are wrong, the media is wrong. And I'm like,
Well, Hillary had a 97% chance to win.
87.
No, the day before. I looked into it. It's like the day before, it was November 2nd, and she had a 97% chance to win. I was like, oh, wow, she lost.
They were confident.
The New York Times,
Yeah.
but that's probability, not polls.
Okay.
So the New York Times released an explainer talking about how they did their polling. And they said that even though they predicted Hillary would win, Trump was still in the correct national popular vote margins.
Yeah, but we look about right now, the temperature in America, and imagine people are being ostracized from groups for saying, I'm a Trump supporter. Like you said it yourself, someone
Right.
calls you up, said, who are you voting for? Oh, I'm going to vote for Biden. Click. I'm voting for Trump.
It
it's
could
like,
be. Or it could
Of course
be.
they're going to say Biden. They're
or-
going to tell anybody that they're voting for Trump. It's like,
But think about the simple solution here.
what?
We are saying there must be. So the simple solution is the polls got released.
Yeah.
Trump is losing.
Okay.
That's it. Now we are trying to justify how that could possibly be.
Right.
But that's not what's being presented to us. So it could be irrational of us to try and justify why Trump really is doing better.
Well, maybe it's good, though, because you said it's like if they think he's going to lose, they're going to show up.
It's actually when
Right?
it comes yes and no. If you think you're going to lose completely, you
Right.
don't bother. So it's a mix of I think Trump's going to lose, but he has a chance.
You got to be worried.
I don't. Have you seen like Trump rallies? The people that show up there, they're not going to get disheartened. They're going to rally.
He didn't have his million people in Tulsa. So
Okay.
listen. You can make every excuse in the book for why people didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but 13 or so million watched online. It's a huge number. Or not online, but remotely. It's true. But if people aren't willing to actually get up and go support the president in person,
Okay.
then maybe they won't be willing to do it in November. I think look,
I think the people that didn't show up, there's a lot of this COVID thing people are still afraid of. And
true.
it's like if they keep shoving it down your throat, they're not going to show up for the Democrats either. It's not like it's only the Republicans who are afraid of that. It's like everyone, I feel.
what did you just tell me about ballots popping up with only Democratic votes on them?
That's exact. I see it. I'm. It's not just one source. It's popping up, and I'm seeing it. It's like,
Pull it up.
Okay, what's going on here?
Pull it up. Read that one.
Oh man, the New Jersey NWACP says leader calls for Patterson mail-in vote to be canceled amid corruption claims. So we have proof that there's corruption in
Yeah.
mail-in voting.
And this is just one story, man. There's a
And
lot.
I'm pretty sure it's a blue state, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
It's a blue state.
Jersey?
Funny you should say that. I've seen a lot. When I say this, I mean a lot. Over 300 easy comments of people talking about how their dead loved ones voted Democrat.
People
that they
who
were
moved,
like,
yeah.
my mother's been dead for 10 years, and I just got this thing that she voted Democrat.
So weird.
I don't
In
want
two
listen,
elections.
hold on, check this out. I don't want to name the person, so if you know the name, please don't say it.
I won't.
Okay.
But we got a mail-in ballot to this house.
Really?
We did.
Okay.
I didn't. I
Really?
got an application for a mail-in ballot.
It
I'm
was
fighting a
not
sneeze
for
here.
Tim. Sneeze, Tim, sneeze.
A ballot came. Oh man.
I just let it out. I love a good sneeze.
No.
Good.
I love a good sneeze. Sneezing feels so good.
does. It's awesome.
It's basically your body getting rid of an irritant. That's
right.
literally what a sneeze is. So
Yay!
yes. I love a good sneeze.
All right, there you go.
I could. Resistance was futile.
Yeah.
We
Let
got,
it out.
Listen. We got a mail-in ballot here.
Yeah.
And I was shocked when it came.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. What?
Yeah.
Why is this here?
Yeah. What?
And then I said, where's the rest of the mail-in ballots for people in the house?
Right.
We don't have them.
We got a few.
No,
I
we
just don't know
don't.
Where they went.
No, you're wrong. We got applications for ballots.
Oh, is that what those were?
We got applications
Oh.
for ballots, meaning I can fill it out and then ask for one. And it's shocking because it seems like there's no time for that to actually happen.
Right. Yeah.
But
how about
why did this one come for somebody who's not here?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's fishy.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
don't
I
like
don't
it.
like the system. Like
And-
I don't
and
trust
listen.
the system anymore.
A
like, man.
mail-in ballot came here
Uh-huh.
for someone who does not live here.
Right.
And how hard would it be for some person to just like
Fill it out. Forge signature.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh, well, this
Off you go.
person's voting for me.
Well, that's what's
Or the
happening in New
whoever-
Jersey, man.
Yeah. And that's just one state.
That is here. That's
Yeah.
New Jersey.
And it's
That's
blue.
What's happening here.
It's a blue state.
Crazy.
And listen, I chose this story for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
NAACP leader
Yeah.
says cancel the vote.
Yeah.
That's not a Republican.
Oh no.
No.
No, that's not a Republican. That's a
No.
Democrat. And 20% of the vote was voided.
That's crazy.
20%.
That's insane. That's a lot.
That'll swing.
So
an
I tell you what,
election,
man.
Dude.
When I hear from my friends, they're saying things like, make voting easier.
Yeah.
We need to get mail-in voting. And I'm like, you can't just say things. Okay, I understand your point. But now we're looking at an entire group of black voters completely disenfranchised
Yep.
by your progressive policy.
It's shockingly racist.
Oh, Democrats. Democrats trying to
Being racist.
to control and,
Well,
and
here-
being racist.
Here's the simple example that I give to people so they can understand the problem with surface level solutions. Let's say there's a protester in the street, just one.
Okay.
And he's holding up a little sign saying ban cilantro. And you're like, it's a ridiculous cause. It's stupid. This is ridiculous,
That's
right?
a good cause.
But you hate cilantro, don't you?
I hate it.
So wouldn't you at least applaud a little bit?
I'd be like,
on
yeah,
the
you go,
inside?
brother. This is part of the point,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Some people are sitting there going like, rock on, brother. Cilantro's nasty.
Yeah.
But traffic is blocked up
Right.
for a long ways.
Because he's standing in the middle of the street.
So the cops walk up and they say, we got to clear the street. Yo,
Yeah.
buddy, move. He says, no, I have a First Amendment right to peaceably assemble.
Okay.
The cops say, if you don't move, you'll be arrested. The cop thinks, we got to clear the traffic. The easiest way to do it, just arrest the guy.
Well, obstructing vehicular traffic is actually a misdemeanor.
Right. So the cop
So-
says, the easiest way to deal with this right now is to just arrest the guy.
Yeah.
And he
Yep.
does. And tomorrow there's 10 protesters. Police brutality. Oh, these nasty cops violated our rights. So then the cops come out and they put on shields this time and they go start smacking heads and locking these people up. The next day 100 protesters show up.
Okay.
The simple solution in this to this problem seems just arrest them and they're gone. And then you incite more
It
protests.
doesn't work like that.
So I'm not saying that's, you never stop the protesters, you never arrest them. I'm saying
Right.
you've got to think about what happens and how you engage. So if Trump, for instance, came out to Chaz with, APCs and soldiers,
Right.
he would have made it 100 times worse.
You're right. That's a good
Instead,
point.
he sat back
Yeah.
Yep.
and they lit themselves up,
Yep.
and now the mayor looks like an idiot.
It's true.
Even
You're
though
right.
it's frustrating that
Yeah.
he didn't do anything.
Good point.
So I bring this up because the people who are all screaming for mail-in voting are the cops saying the easiest way to get rid of the protesters is to arrest them. The easiest way to get people to vote is just send them a ballot. It's like, and then you open the door to the whole thing being bunk.
Yep.
So, but think about it. We talked about Democrats and Republicans claiming the victory on both sides, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what happens if they decide to go mail-in voting, and then in Newark, New Jersey,
Yeah.
50,000 mail-in votes are voided?
Yep.
Oh, the whole election, Trump didn't win.
Turns out they're all Republican votes too.
Oh, so weird.
They just voided the Republican votes. The Democrats all went through.
That's not what I mean, though. What
I
mean
know.
is
I'm just
Right.
adding a layer of conspiracy
Trump
onto that.
wins.
Yes.
Trump wins a resounding victory.
Mm-hmm.
He wins, 500 electoral votes, and then the Democrats find one state where the mail-in vote is broken,
Yep.
and they say we have to void the whole election. Look at the
Do this
state.
whole thing
The
again.
whole thing's corrupt. If this one's bad, then they're all bad, and then they refuse to accept it. Now, to be fair, it would have to be a close race. Trump wins, but then they find one suspicious state, and it goes to the Supreme Court.
Yep.
And then what happens if the Supreme Court says, even though Trump won the Electoral College and the popular vote, this fraud means the Democrats win everything. And then the Supreme Court sides with the Democrats, and Trump gets told he's a loser, even though he actually won.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Civil war.
Maybe not.
What?
I mean,
what would happen?
maybe. But I'm just entertaining what are conservatives and moderates linking hands and guarding statues. Are moderates, look at the Black Lives Matter guy who got fired from Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then look at the Trump supporters outside of the convention who were told to leave because of curfew. And they said, you got a boss. And they just walked away. Now, the next day they got rid of the curfew for sure. But I never see conservatives go out and protest or moderates go out and protest. It's always the far left. In fact, Democrats don't even go out and protest. And they do sometimes.
Yeah.
It's mostly the extremists. And then they win every single time.
I read a story on Twitter today where there was a left-wing activist, like a social justice warrior, who quit her job because her boss made like a racist or sexist joke. And I was like, if this leftist can quit her job on the spot because a joke hurt her feelings, then why can you not consider taking steps to make your voice heard in a principled way at your job without freaking out about it? Why would you not even consider this?
I gotta say, man, the left has... It's part of their temper tantrum, but you got to understand what a temper tantrum is.
Lack of emotional intelligence
The willingness to
And
demand
competence.
and refuse to compromise.
and competence.
A temper tantrum is the unwillingness to compromise.
That's true.
It's the toxic version of it,
Yeah.
rolling on the ground, screaming, demanding. But guess what? It's working.
Well, this is what I was saying earlier about how society has coddled us. We're spoiled. We have everything, and a lot of us appreciate it, but a lot of people have no idea.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.